Hey guys, welcome to the show Time for a Top 5, the show where we give you our top 5s on various subjects. My name is Jake and I'll be your host for this episode. Today we're talking about the top 5 Nintendo games of all time. Let's get started. Number 5 is Super Smash Bros. The series mostly, but in particular, Brawl. This game had bunches of characters, bunches of stages, bunches of items, and bunches of bananas. Just kidding, it didn't have that. But it did have Donkey Kong, which is the closest you can probably get. This game is the most fun when you're playing with 4 people, just brutally battling it out. And if you haven't seen the footage of Aaron, myself, Nathan, and Rakapaw playing this game, definitely go check it out in the annotation right here. Number 4 is the Pokemon series, more specifically Pokemon RedBlue. Now, this is the only Pokemon game that I've actually played all the way through, or even played. But considering it's the original, it's most likely the best, right? That's how that works? Pokemon, if you didn't know, is a game where you collect monsters called Pokemon and use them to fight the dangers of the world. It's a really popular RPG game, and if you haven't heard of it, I'm sorry, you're probably living under a rock. Number 3 is Mario Kart. Now, I'm sure all of you have played Mario Kart at some point or another. This game is insanely fun. But the Mario Kart game that I'm talking about the most is Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube. This game introduced co-op to a karting game, which really hadn't been seen before. It had bunches of new tracks, which was just awesome. It had new characters. Probably the coolest of all were the different weight classes that people would have, making them get a different kart depending on their weight class. Wario, heavy kart. Mario, medium kart. Baby Luigi, little kart. The extra special power-ups, like the babies getting chain chomps, was basically insanely awesome. Number 2 is a game that a lot of you are probably going to yell at me for putting at number 2, but hear me out on this one. It's Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Please, don't get mad at me, alright? I know, this game is great. It's perfect almost. I've played it. It's fun. It's Legend of Zelda. There's puzzles, there's action, there's adventure, and the only reason it's not at number 1 is because of the game that's on number 1. So let's go to number 1 and see what that game is and why Ocarina of Time is only number 2. Finally, number 1 is Super Mario Bros. 3. Even though this game is old, it is one of the best Nintendo game of all time. Although it's very similar to Super Mario Bros. 1, in which you have to get from point A to point B as Mario, the difference is in the power-ups, as well as the challenge of the whole game. Plus, getting to choose your level instead of having to go through them all was really something new and different for video games back then, which really made it revolutionary. I've said this once before, and I'm going to say it again. Nintendo revolutionizes everything. Think about it. Besides just revolutionizing video games in general, they've revolutionized motion gaming with the Wii, and now the gamepad with the Wii U. This could be something that's really awesome for us, and I hope we get a lot of new games that are awesome like these ones. If you think you have better picks for the top 5 Nintendo games of all time, leave them down in the comments. And if you think that I'm just completely off with the Ocarina of Time and where I place that in the list, tell me, because I'm probably going to get a lot of that. We hope to see you guys again next time for another Time for a Top 5, where next time we'll be talking about something completely different with probably a different person. So I'll see you next time I do a Top 5. Until then, this has been a Top 5 with Great Guys Gaming.